Not every hero begins life with power or privilege. Some are born into palaces. Others inherit wealth, influence, or great armies. But sometimes, God chooses someone the world would never expect. This is the remarkable story of Esther, a young orphan who grew up far from her homeland, living as a stranger in the greatest empire on earth. She had no royal blood and no reason to believe she would ever stand before a king. Yet behind the scenes, while nations rose and rulers celebrated their own greatness, God was quietly arranging events that would change history forever. This is more than the story of a beautiful queen. It is the story of courage overcoming fear, faith triumphing over impossible circumstances, and a nation being rescued through one woman who was willing to risk everything. Our story begins during the reign of King Xerxes, the mighty ruler of the Persian Empire. His kingdom stretched across 127 provinces, reaching from India in the east to Ethiopia in the west. No king of his time commanded greater wealth or authority. From his magnificent palace in the city of Susa, Xerxes ruled over millions of people. To display the vastness of his power and the glory of his kingdom, he organized one of the grandest celebrations the ancient world had ever seen. For 180 days, nobles, military commanders, governors, and influential leaders gathered from every corner of the empire. Every hall of the royal palace glittered with luxury. Marble pillars supported elegant curtains of fine linen. Gold and silver decorations reflected the sunlight, while priceless treasures filled every room. When those 6 months of celebration finally ended, the king invited everyone living in Susa, from the highest officials to ordinary citizens, to attend another magnificent feast inside the royal gardens. For 7 more days, food and wine were served without limit. Guests drank from golden goblets, each one crafted with a unique design, while expensive royal wine flowed freely throughout the celebration. At the same time, Queen Vashti hosted a separate banquet for the women inside the royal palace. As the final day of the feast arrived, King Xerxes, influenced by wine and pride, made a decision that would alter the future of an entire nation. He ordered his servants to bring Queen Vashti before all the guests while wearing her royal crown so everyone could admire her beauty. But Vashti refused. She would not allow herself to become a display before a crowd of drunken men. Her refusal shocked the entire royal court. No one had ever expected the queen to reject a direct command from the king. Humiliated before his guests, Xerxes burned with anger. His wounded pride quickly became a political crisis. Seeking advice, he called together his trusted counselors. One of them, a man named Memucan, warned that if the queen's actions went unpunished, women throughout the empire might begin disrespecting their husbands as well. His solution was swift and severe. Queen Vashti should lose her royal position forever, and a decree should be sent throughout the empire, declaring that every man was to be the head of his household. The king accepted the advice without hesitation. Official messengers carried the royal decree to every province, translating it into every language spoken across the empire. And just like that, Queen Vashti disappeared from the throne. To many, it looked like nothing more than another royal decision. But what no one inside that palace could see was that God was already preparing the next chapter of his plan. A throne had become empty, and somewhere within the vast Persian Empire, a young Jewish orphan was about to step into the story, to be continued. Time passed, and the king's anger slowly faded. Although Queen Vashti was gone, the silence she left behind remained. The royal palace no longer felt complete, and King Xerxes began to miss the presence of a queen. Yet according to the unchangeable laws of Persia, Vashti could never return. Sensing the king's loneliness, his advisors offered a solution. Let a search be made throughout the entire empire, they suggested. Bring the most beautiful young women from every province to the palace. After months of preparation, let each one appear before the king. Then he may choose a new queen to replace Vashti. The proposal pleased the king. Immediately, royal officials were sent across all 127 provinces. From India to Ethiopia, young women were gathered and brought to the palace in Susa. Among them was a young Jewish woman named Hadassah, better known by her Persian name Esther. Unlike many of the other women, Esther had not grown up surrounded by comfort. She had lost both of her parents while she was still a child. With no family left to care for her, she was raised by her older cousin, Mordecai, a faithful Jewish man who loved her as if she were his own daughter. Although they lived in a foreign land, Mordecai never allowed Esther to forget who she was. He taught her to trust the God of Israel, to walk with humility, and to remain faithful even while living among people who worshipped other gods. Before Esther left for the palace, Mordecai gave her one important instruction: do not reveal that you are a Jew. Esther respected him completely and promised to keep her identity a secret. When she arrived at the royal palace, she was placed under the care of Haggai, the official